So this is the second time I'm filming this video because the first time I realized I hadn't plugged my microphone in. Good times. So if you are someone who is saving, budgeting, or has financial goals that they want to achieve, or maybe just wants to get more out of their life for free, then this video is for you, because today we are talking about ways you can improve your life for free. Now, I did my best to have an exhaustive list of things I could think of, things that I do in my life. But if there is anything I've missed, please let me know in the comments down below. So without further ado, let's kick off. So the first thing we want to do right at the start, probably the most important thing, is a mindset shift. You want to start every morning with giving yourself a few minutes for gratitude. And I heard this so many times previously on videos, and I read this so many times, and I never did it because I was like, oh, this is so wishy-washy. But since I started doing it, it has massively improved my life because it improves my mood every day. It gives me a more positive outlook. Because I spent the morning sort of thinking, what am I grateful for? It just reframes my whole brain to look for things I'm grateful for during the day. And it really works. So really take a few minutes in the morning. I'm not talking about, gratitude journaling, which everyone talks about, and I'm sure it's great. I don't have time for that. I lose things I write down. So I don't do that. I just do it in my head, and it still really helps to reframe the day for me. Now, talking of reframing things, you want to reframe challenges as opportunities. So this is probably one of the hardest sort of mindset shifts that you have to do. It's not an easy thing to make yourself think about the positives every single time, but actually thinking positively, learning to think positively, first of all, is free, but second of all, it builds a certain resilience to bad times, which automatically improves your life. It doesn't sort of make you feel really rubbish every time something bad happens. It helps you to go, oh, okay, well, that's rubbish, but this, and that. So I think I watched a video which was something like someone was telling me about the things they don't have. And then I was like, oh, great. So you also don't have this disease, and you don't have these problems and these problems. And it was like, wow, okay, yeah, you're right. I can't remember where I saw that, but it really made me think again how positive thinking is so important. Lastly, when it comes to mindset, the final thing to remember is just to keep reminding yourself why you are doing what you're doing. Okay, so a vision board of some sort of comes to mind here. It can be either a physical one that you print out and put somewhere like the fridge or somewhere you can see it, or it can be on your laptop screen. I've mentioned this before. When I was building my house, I had my house project as my wallpaper, and it really kept me going. It really motivated me, like, this is going to be my house, and everything I'm doing is for this house. So, it doesn't even have to be a big vision board with lots of things. It can be one thing that you truly desire, and it will help you reframe all your decisions. The next thing is to look at online resources, but free online resources. So Google, Harvard, there are so many places that offer free courses, like actual courses. So if you want to increase your knowledge, your skills, you can take those free courses. You can watch YouTube videos, podcasts, you can go to a library. Libraries have not only educational content, but sort of, entertainment. So you don't even have to pay for things like Netflix. You can get a lot of entertainment free from the library. So utilizing these free resources is really important when you want to save money, and you can use it to make yourself feel better by either sort of using it for your hobbies or for learning new skills and, just improving your knowledge, making yourself feel like a better person, more well-rounded, educated person. So I definitely recommend that. The next thing you can do is join free community events, groups, networks. There are so many on Facebook. Oh my God. Whether it's like a run club or a book club or a charity club, whatever it is, I can guarantee you, if you look hard enough, you will find a community that you can meet with, you can network with, you can do things with that don't require money. Now, on a similar topic, there are also Facebook groups you can join that have like free swap or just give away for free things. So for example, there are people who can't be bothered to maybe sell stuff, or maybe it's stuff that they wouldn't know where to sell, or for whatever reason they go, I will give away for free, or I will give this away for a bar of chocolate, or something like that. And I've seen those groups both in London and in Poland, so I'm pretty sure they are everywhere. And one man's trash is another man's treasure. And whilst most of these things you're probably not going to be interested in, because if everyone was interested in everything, then there wouldn't be, I'll give away for free groups, because they could just sell things. But every once in a while, you never know what will pop up that might interest you. So it's really worth joining these groups, keeping an eye on them, because you never know what treasure you will find. Okay, the next thing is to find local nature spots. Now, this sort of hits two birds with one stone, because first of all, outdoor walking, getting sunshine in, all this kind of stuff really boosts your mood and just boosts your life. But also, when it comes to saving money on experiences and traveling, this is a good thing to do. There are so many like hidden gems that I didn't know existed either in England, in London, in Poland, You don't have to go far on holiday with your loved ones, whether it's family or pets or whatever, to have a good experience in beautiful surroundings. Some of the beaches that I saw in England, I was like, whoa, that is breathtaking, You don't need to go to Spain to see this. Like, okay, I get the weather's different, right? But we're talking about saving money here and still having a good time. So have a look at sort of hidden gem locations around where you live, or at least in the country that you live in. Because generally, I know it's not always, but generally it will be cheaper to stay for a staycation than to go on holiday. The next thing that I know you have heard a million times, but I know a lot of you still need to hear it again. Stop paying for gym memberships. If you need to improve your life for free, there are so many YouTube workouts, body weight workouts. You don't need fancy equipment. Think about how much your body weighs, okay? That is a lot of weight. If you find the right body weight exercises, you can do so much at home that you can't do in a gym. And okay, if you are a bodybuilder and you are doing like 100 kilograms or something on one arm or whatever, fine. But we're talking very different scenarios here. But there are beautiful workouts online that you can do at home without spending a penny. So look at YouTube workouts. I can guarantee you that the majority of people don't get their money's worth out of their gym membership. So I suggest reviewing it if you have one, and starting to exercise at home. Okay, the next one is perhaps not an easy one to figure out, but it's to find something that you are absolutely madly passionate about that is free. I'm going to give you an example. For me, this is obviously helping animals. And whilst, yes, I could and I do help animals through sort of donating money, the majority of the help that I give is actually free. So we're talking about things like fostering, I just give up space in my home, things like organizing events for them, things like making a website for them, for my local animal charity, all this stuff. And seeing the success of this, seeing, the event that I did, it brought in 8,000 zloty. That's a lot of money. And it was just through things that people donated for free to be sold. And all of that just brings me so much fulfillment and joy in my life that I don't need expensive things. I don't need to spend money on going places or experiences. So if you find something like that, you won't need to spend money because you will feel so fulfilled. The next thing you can do is declutter your home and rearrange your furniture. because sometimes all you need is a fresh look to feel better, but you don't need new furniture, because if you just think about laying what you have out in a different way, that can be all of the sort of serotonin boost that you need. And you can also do like DIY upcycling, or, you know, there are so many groups about DIY that you can do that not only save you money, but it's actually quite a fun project to do. So check those out as well. Next is traveling for free. Now, this might sound weird, but there are actually websites, and I didn't realize that not everyone knew this. There are websites where you can sort of exchange your time, like your work, your labor, in exchange for lodging. So when I went to Iceland, for example, I met a girl who had spent months traveling the world, basically almost for free. Like, all she was paying for were flights, and the rest of it was basically covered by her doing random jobs, like, you know, I think she came to Iceland to work on a farm, you know, like pick fruit, or I don't know what she was doing, but something about a farm. I know she was babysitting at one point, like a sort of au pair type arrangement. There are a lot of au pair arrangements where they want the au pair to speak English, because they want their kid to grow up sort of knowing English. So there are a lot of potential sort of arrangements like that, and all it takes is obviously do your research, make sure they have good reviews and stuff like that, but have a look, especially if you don't have like a family that you're tied to and you're still sort of someone who is quite young and can go and just travel. This is a great way of doing it for free. The last thing on my list is actually random acts of kindness. And I'm talking things like helping someone carry their shopping, giving someone a compliment, like just little things that will help you feel better, because you're helping someone else have a better life. Because it might sound silly, but if you tell someone like, oh my God, I love your outfit, I love your hair, I love whatever, and you see their smile just light up their face, that will help you feel miles better. So yeah. Okay, let me check if I have anything else on my list. No, that's it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, make sure to give it a like if you have found anything helpful, because it does really help my channel. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.